Hey guys, welcome back to class. So in the previous class we talked about who a UI designer is. So today we're talking about UX designer slash UX researcher. But basically a UX researcher, okay? So as a UI designer, when a project comes to your table, okay, you you literally do what the UX researcher wants because the UX researcher has done his or her research and he has come to a conclusion following the needs and wants of the company and what the the user of that product wants. So let's check out what the definition is. A UX researcher, that means a user experience researcher, is a professional dedicated to studying and understanding users' behavior, needs, and motivations through various research methods. Their primary goal is to ensure that products, services, or systems are designed to meet users' needs and provide a positive experience. So, from this definition, I think it is self-explanatory. Now, we need to design a product. A product might be a website, a system, an app. Okay, so we need to understand what the user wants. The people that are going to use this product after design, okay, we need to understand what they want. We need to understand how they want it, okay, and how do we get to know how the users want these products to be. It can be via interview. You can hold interview on this particular product. You can share questionnaires on particular product, ask them questions. They will tell you, okay, this is how I want it to be, this is how I think it should be. Okay, now let's delve into roles and responsibilities of a UX designer. All right, so defining research objectives, that is the main role. Okay, number one role, this is just to mention a few, by the way. Working with stakeholders to determine the goals and scope of the research project. Now, your work as a UX researcher, you are working with the stakeholders. That means the owner of the project, the owner of the app you're working on, the owner of the website you're working on, the owner of the system you're working on. Okay, to determine the goal, to really know what they want in the particular project. To really know how they want the project to function. Okay, so that is your main that's your main goal. So I'm trying to wrap up this class because I don't want to bore you with too much talk. Okay, I don't want it to be too long. Now, the next one is selecting research methods. Choosing appropriate research methods like interviews, like I mentioned, surveys, usability testing based on the research objectives. Okay, now you can decide to conduct interviews, ask people what they think about this particular product that is coming up. How do they think these products can work? How do they think is best nice for them? Or via surveys, which is questionnaires and the rest, or usability testing. Now you can just make a prototype of it, give them to use, and by the time they test it, testing how it works, they will come back to you sharing their sharing their opinion about it. Most times when you use an app, they will demand for rating and comments. So by the time you give them a rating, they will tell you to leave your comment. Probably after using both app or Taxify app, Uber app, they will request for a rating. They will tell you to leave your comments. Okay, you'll be like, the driver was so rough, or the product was this, or the means of applying for the order was so long. I think it should be like that is what usability testing is. Okay, now recruiting participants. Finding and selecting users who represent the target audience to participate in research objectives. Now, the next one is conducting research. Implementing research methods to collect data from users. Now, you need to collect data from users, the people you're actually building that app for, that website for, that system for, that product for. Remember, whatever you are doing is product. You are a product designer. Yeah, an app is your product. A website is a product. A system, anything you are designing is a product. So you are a product designer. Okay. Now you are collecting data from the user. asking them what they want, how they want it to be. Okay, this includes conducting interviews, moderating usability tests, or distributing surveys. The next one is analyzing data, interpreting the data collected to identify patterns, insights, and key findings. This often involves both qualitative and quantitative analysis. All right. Now we are talking about qualitative and quantitative analysis, whereby we talk about the figures and facts that we need for that particular product. Reporting findings, communicating research results to designers. Here is now your work. Now you need the research findings from the UX researcher before you can make your design. Do you understand? You need the research from the UX researcher before you can make your design as a UI designer. So we have people that functions only as UX researchers, okay, but you can decide to be both UX and UI designer. So now you communicate as a UX researcher. They communicate that findings that they've got from the user via interview, survey, usability tests. They convey it to you as the designer or the developer and the stakeholders, probably through reports, presentations, and workshops. Do you understand? Now you need that before you can implement your design. Making decisions, making design recommendations, okay, providing actionable insights and suggestions to improve the user experience based on research findings. Remember, you take your survey from the users and you take your average. That means you really know what the users want. You might have taken from a good number of people before you can come to a conclusion that this is what they want from this particular project. Okay, collaborating with teams, working closely with designers, developers, product managers, and other team members to ensure user insights are integrated into the design and development process. Sorry. Okay, so that is self-explanatory. Now, iterating on research, continuously conducting research to validate design decisions, and iterating on the product based on the user's feedback. Okay, now you need to um, continuously conduct researches so that you can really know what they want. Do you understand? So that you can validate it in the design decisions. Okay, so I think we'll end here for today. But get in mind that as a UI designer, you need the report from a UX designer before you can implement your design, because the report has to be what's the word to use now, has to be certified and approved by the stakeholders. Very important. Okay, in line with what the users want. All right, guys, thank you and see you in next class.